Hello guys, this is Silva here again. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys another powerful volatility index strategy that you can use to grow your small account. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, I'm going to quickly share with you guys the indicator setup for this powerful strategy, and then after that I'll be explaining how the strategy works. Okay, so make sure you stick to the video to the very end. Make sure not to skip any part of this video because there are some vital information I'll be sharing here in today's video. Okay, so the first thing we have to do here is to click on this F icon here. After clicking on that, we are going to search for moving average, which is the first indicator we have here, as you can see. All right, so you click on this main window plus icon, then you search for your moving average, right? So after clicking on the moving average, you are to change the properties to the settings you are seeing here. Okay, you make the period 51 and 150. All right, the shift is 0, the method is exponential, apply to is close, the level you leave it as it is, time frame is all time frame, the color you make it blue, and you make it 3 pixel. All right, after that you click on done. All right, the next indicator we have here is still a moving average with a different settings. Okay, so you click on this plus icon. All right, now for this moving average, you make the period 50, the shift is 0, the method is exponential, apply to is close. All right, the level you leave it as it is, time frame is all time frame, the style you make it color red, 3 pixel, and you click on done. All right, so that is it for the moving average. As you can see, we have the blue and the red moving average on our main chart. Okay, now for the indicators, you click on the main plus icon again. All right, you search for your relative strength index. All right, you search for your relative strength index, you make the properties the same as you're seeing it like this. Okay, now the period is 14, you make the period 14, apply to is close. Right, the levels, as you can see, this is my favorite settings for my levels. Okay, you make it 15, 85. All right, the color is blue, 3 pixel, and you click on done. Okay, now the time frame, you leave it all time frame, the style you make it 3 pixel, or you can make it 1 pixel. It doesn't really matter because it won't reflect on your chart. Okay, you make the color of your background, which is white. As you can see, I'm using a white background currently, so you make it white, and if you're using a black background, you make it black. Okay, now the that is that for the relative strength index. The next indicator we have here is the MACD. All right, so for you to add the MACD under the relative strength index, you have to click on this the main window plus icon, this plus icon here, and then you search for your MACD. All right, now these are the properties for the MACD. The fast EMA is 12, the slow EMA is 26, the MACD SMA is 9, the apply to is close. Right, the level you leave it as it is, time frame is all time frame, the style you make the main, you make it color white. All right, 3 pixel, the signal you make it color blue, 3 pixel, and you click on done. Right, you click on done. Now the next indicator we have here is still a moving average. You click on this plus icon, you search for your moving average, then you set the properties to be same as this one. Okay, the period you make it 1, the shift is 0, method is simple, the apply to is previous indicators data, this one right here. All right, now the levels you leave it as it is. Okay, the time frame is all time frame, the style you make the color red, 3 pixel, and you click on done. So once you have set everything correctly as I've just explained it, you are going to have a screen like this one here. Okay, you're having a screen like this one once you have done everything correctly as I've just explained. Okay, now before I explain the strategy, I want to quickly remind you guys about my powerful boom and crash strategy for growing as little as a $5 account. Okay, it's a VIP strategy that helps even a beginner to grow their small account. Okay, it's a very powerful strategy. So if you are interested in getting this strategy, you check the description of this video. You are going to see my WhatsApp contact there. Make sure to message me, and then we'll discuss on how you get the strategy. Okay, and also for those of you who have not yet joined my Telegram channel, the link is also in my description. Okay, so check the description of this video. You are going to see my Telegram channel there. Make sure to join the family, and then your life will never remain the same. Okay, so that is that about that, guys. Now back to the topic of the day, which is the strategy I'm explaining right here. Okay, the strategy right here. Now, how does this strategy work? This strategy is a scalping strategy. You can use it on all volatility indices. Okay, so as you can see, I'm using volatility 10 index here for the example. Okay, but you can use it on all the volatility indices, even boom and crash. Okay, but you can use it on the higher time frame, not the 1 minute time frame. If you are trading it on boom and crash, use it on the higher time frame. Okay, so this strategy also works on all time frame. Okay, you can use it on any time frame you wish. Okay, but it's not boom and crash. Don't use it on the 1 minute time frame because it will not give you accurate signals. Okay, it will not give you correct signals on boom and crash on 1 minute time frame. But if you're using it on any other volatility index, you can use it on any time frame you wish to. Okay, now this is how the strategy works. Okay, this right here on the indicator window, this here will tell you when to sell, and this here will tell you whether you are to be selling or to be buying. Okay, that's how simple it is. Okay, now I'll start by explaining from the main indicator. Now on the main indicator, whenever you see this red line here crossing above the blue line, okay, it means the price is in an uptrend. Okay, and as the saying goes, the trend is your friend. Okay, so whenever you see this crossing to the upside, what you have to do is to be taking only buy entries. Okay, with this strategy, you take only buy entries whenever the red is above the blue line. Whatever signal you get, just make sure you are taking buy entries only. Don't take sell whenever this red is above. Okay, and whenever it crosses below the blue line, you only take sell signals. Okay, it's as simple as that. All right, now as you can see here, the red line is above the blue line. Okay, so on the indicator window, we are only looking for sell signals now. Okay, we'll only look for sell signals. Sorry, we only look for buy signals. Okay, we only look for buy signals here on the indicator window. Okay, so as price goes, we are monitoring it with our indicator. Okay, so now you can see all right, let me start from this area. Okay, now the indicator has gotten to the overbought level right here. All right, you can see that the indicator is at the overbought level. All right, so I'm going to be giving you multiple examples with this strategy, and I will be showing you how it works. Okay, so that you will not be confused. Okay, whenever it gets to this level, right, whenever the indicator, the red and the blue, gets to the overbought level, all right, you wait for the red to cross below the blue, just like I explained on the main chart. Whenever the red crosses below the blue, you take your sell. All right, and here whenever it crosses above, whenever it gets to the oversold level and the red crosses above the blue, you take your buy entry. Okay, but you need to apply these rules here on the main chart. All right, so here now we are only looking for sell signals alone because the red is below the blue. Okay, so make sure you take note of what I'm saying. Now you can see around this area, price got to the oversold level, right, and the red is below the blue line, right? So this is a perfect signal for us to take entry, right? So now this is what you do. You put in some trend line or some trend tools, okay, to understand what the market is doing perfectly, right? So here you can see the price, there's a support and resistance zone here. Price broke below it, give it a retest, right? And on the indicator window, you can see that price, the red line, crosses below the blue line around this area. Okay, so once you get this kind of confirmation, you don't need to wait, right? You can place your sell around this area, right? Place your sell, and then you hold to the next support and resistance zone the market will give. All right, you can hold to the next support and resistance zone the market gives. All right, so you can see here was a perfect trade. Around this area, maybe if you have taken your sell here, you made a lot of money from this area down to this area before the market start reversing to the upside, right? Now around this area, you can see the price, you can see that the red line cross above the blue line here, right? So now we are going to be looking for buy entries only, right? And here we got our indicator, you can see that our indicator has gotten to the oversold level. So now the condition has been ripe for us to look for our buy entry, sorry, right? So the condition has been ripe for us to look for our buy entry now. Okay, so you wait for the red here on the indicator window to cross above the blue line. All right, so once you see that crossing, then you go in sharply for your buy entry, right? So you can see it crosses around here. All right, so but if it crosses immediately, it doesn't mean that you should buy. All right, you wait for some other condition. All right, if you understand price action, you can put in some price action, all right, in order to support your entry. All right, in order to have a better confirmation and be sure of yourself that this will go your way, all right, before you take any buy entry. Okay, you don't just use these indicators alone. Okay, you need to add your own knowledge of the forex markets, which is price action knowledge, or any other confirmation you can add in the market in order to get a better confirmation, and then you can buy. Okay, so now let's say I'm the one trading, and then I see this crossing here on the indicator window, and then I saw that the red line is above the blue line before the condition was met, right? That means that I'm good to go. Okay, now what I will do is that I'm going to put in some support and resistance zone around this area to better help confirm what the market is doing. All right, to be sure I'm getting a right signal. Okay, so now this is what I'm seeing here. You can see that price got down here, right, and found support around this area, the area of this blue line, which is serving as a support and resistance zone also. It bounced prior to the upside. Now price came back here to retest. All right, now you can see an indecision candlestick here. This red candlestick, this one right here, is showing that the market is confused. It doesn't know whether to go down or whether to go up. Okay, and then followed by this blue and this green candlestick here, which is now giving us the go ahead that we should buy. Okay, it gives us that price. It shows that the buyers have taken over the market, and with this kind of condition, you know what to do. All right, so you wait for this candlestick to close successfully in green, and then you take your buy. Okay, so let's say I'm the one, I will take my buy from this area here. So around that area, I take my buy, and then I'll hold till this area of the most recent area of support and resistance zone as my TP. All right, so I'll hold from this area to this area, and then I'll close my trade. Okay, then look for the next opportunity to present itself. Okay, so that's how we play with this strategy. All right, so now I wait for this indicator to get to the oversold level, since the red is above, right, to get to this area again to give me another buying opportunity, right? So now as you can see, it got to this area. So now what I'll do is to look for my buy entry, right? So it got there around this area, right? So you can see, you wait for it to cross above the red. So once it crosses, you can see price cross around this area, went up, right, came back for retest. All right, now around this area I'll be looking for, so far what price went up before, I'll wait for it to come down to this area, and then I'll be looking for a buy candlestick pattern. All right, so as you can see, we got a buy candlestick pattern here around this area. You can see a long wick with a big hammerhead here, or an engulfing candlestick, which is also a buy candlestick around this area. All right, so once I see this kind of thing, I will just buy around this area, right, with the help of the signal I got from the indicator. I'll buy from around this area, and then maybe place my stop loss below this area here. and then the TP will be the most recent support and resistance zone, just like I earlier explained, right? Around this area, this is going to be the TP, and then I'll hold from here down to this area. So as you can see, price down a little bit, and then eventually it got to this area and my TP has been met. All right, so at being I took that entry. This is another win trade for me, right, with this strategy, right? So now let's go again. The red is still above the blue line, right? So we are still looking for buy entry. So wait for it to come down again. So now you can see the red and on the indicator window, price has gotten to the oversold level, which means that we look for our buy entry now. All right, so you wait for the red to cross above the blue, and it happened around this area here. You can see this is the area the red crosses around the blue, around this area. So you wait for it to get to a support and resistance zone, then you wait for a candlestick pattern, then you look for your buy to the upside, right? So around this area I can spot a support and resistance zone, right? Around this area, and also around this area you can spot a support and resistance zone, right? So let's say this is the area I spot the first support and resistance zone around this area here, right? So now around this area I'm going to be looking for a candlestick pattern, a buy candlestick pattern, and then I'll take the buy to the upside, right? So now you can see there is a candle with a long wick here, which is kind of a shooting star and is a buy candlestick pattern, right? You can see a long wick and a hammerhead right around this area here. So let's see, I'll take my buy from this area here, and then the stop loss is going to be around this area, right? Around this area or below that area, and then my TP is going to be, let's see, the most recent support and resistance zone, which is around this area here, right? So let's see, I'll be holding my trade no matter what happens till it get to my TP or get to my stop loss, right? So as you can see, eventually price got to my TP, and this is another win trade using this strategy. All right, so as you can see, it's a very powerful strategy. So once you know what you are doing in the market, you are good to go, right? So make sure you practice very well with this strategy and see that it's working for you before you apply it with your hard-earned money, right? So one more example and we are done, because this video is getting too long and I don't want it to be too long, right? So let's go again. So as you can see, around this area the red has crossing out below the blue. So now we are looking for sell trade, right, according to the strategy. So now you can see our indicators has gotten to the oversold level on the indicator window, right? And then you can see, boom, the price has crossing above the red and the blue line. But since the red is still below this, it doesn't really matter. You still look for your sell entry, right? Now you can see blue and the red is crossing below the blue, right? So now you put in some price action to get a better confirmation, right? Now around this area, this is where it crosses, right? This is around this is where the red crosses below the blue, right? So now you look for some support and resistance zone to mark, right? So now this is what I'm talking about. Around this area, this is where it crosses, the red crosses the blue, right? So now you look for a candlestick pattern giving you a sell signal, right? You look for a candlestick pattern giving you a sell signal. As you can see, there's a candle with a long wick and a head, right? A shooting star, a falling star, whatever it's called, right? You can see a candlestick pattern here. Now this is what I'm talking about, this candlestick pattern here. You can see it. So now once you see something like this, you take your sell around this area. Once the candlestick closes with this kind of pattern, you take your sell, and then maybe your stop loss is going to be above this area, right? And let's say this is the area you take your sell from. This is the area you take your sell from, right? Now your TP is going to be the most recent structure the market made, which is around this area, right? Around this area. So now as you can see, this is where you take your sell from, and you can see, boom, your TP will be hit around this area. Okay, so make sure you target the most recent structure, don't go too far, right? This is a scalping strategy, don't go too far, target the most recent structure, and you are good to go. Okay, so guys, you have seen how the strategy work with all this example I've given. All right, so far this is below, you take your only sell, and if the red is above, you take only buy. As simple as that. Okay, so what I want you guys to do now is to make sure you practice very well with this strategy. Make sure you practice and you see that it's working for you before you go in with your hard-earned money. Okay, so I think I'm going to be stopping the video here. All right, if you're a new viewer coming across my channel for the first time, please make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a powerful strategy like this, you get notified immediately. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. And guys, don't forget to come for the VIP strategy, and don't also forget to join my Telegram channel, because if you do, your life will never remain the same. Okay, I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Silver out.